What's good? What's going on? Welcome to the channel. Masculine Post. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Show your love. Okay, so as I speak to different groups of people, whether it's males or females and everything else, it's become evident to me that one, women want to get married. Okay, that's one. But they want to get married when it's like close to where they feel like they've done everything under the sun. They've had the summer, hot summer girls. They've had done all them things. That's when they feel like they should settle. Okay? Because before that they feel like they're missing out on life on the streets. And it's almost like saying the biological clock is forcing me to get married. That's when they want to get married. But I've also noticed that there is no desire to prepare to be a wife. A wife, the role of a wife is something very, very important in a relationship, and men are looking for wives. And men are deluded to believe that every woman is a wife. So they feel like just because you marry a woman and she's pretty and she's gonna play the role of a wife, a supporter, a helpmeet, that type of like shoulder to lean on, like your right hand man almost. But men, I think, have been programmed to believe because we are still somewhat traditional, unlike our counterparts. They believe that just marrying the woman, but means that she's going to be a wife and a mother. It's automatic. But oftentimes, these women have not given it the thought and the respect that it ought to be given. That's it. Like, okay, now I'm a mother. Let me play this role the best I can. So an example is if I was going for a high and important job for a firm that was going to give me what I believe I want in my life, and that firm was prestigious, I would do all the work to fit the bill so that that firm hires me and keeps me for a long time. Okay. We also see that with athletes. If you go into the championships, you're going to be playing different teams who are working hard and so forth to compete against y'all. So you do all the work possible to make sure you're competitive. Okay? Same thing if you're doing examinations for something that you paid a lot of money for, something you want to be. You have to do the work to become what, like to study so that when you examine, you know that you can perform to the high degree. Now, it seems to me, okay, based on the encounters I've had, that women do not give it the thought that it's needed. One, and these are the reasons, because they just get married for the feeling of wanting to get married. I don't say this for all women, but these are my observations. I want to get married. This man's proposed. I said yes. So they get married. That's one. Okay. Number two, they already got the idea that, oh, if it's not working out, I can leave and get half his stuff. There is nothing enticing or forcing women to be good people, to be good wives at all. That goodness has to just come out of randomly out of the goodness of their own hearts. So basically, if you are lucky, okay, so those men that are doing life with women that respect them and are wives, it's more like a luck of the draw almost. Very much so. Because these women are not doing the work and they're not respecting the role of a wife, basically. They say, oh, I want to get married. Let's get married. So you say, oh, baby, I want to marry you. They say yes. They don't consider like, hey, maybe, like there's no sacrifice prior to the occasion which leads to marriage. They see themselves as good enough to be wives in spite of the past. You know, statistically, we know that if certain things happen to that woman before you propose to her, it's not gonna last. But they do not consider those things. They don't say, "Well, I need to heal. I need to." They'll just say, "Yes, I'm gonna get married," and it's not regarded as a high role. They regard their degrees way more than the wife role. They regard their job position and being ready for that, they'll have sleepless nights studying, they'll have sleepless nights rehearsing for interviews than they would for the role of being a wife. That's why brothers, y'all being cheated. You're being cheated. You're not getting the best of the woman. She's giving the best of herself to all these different situations, but not for the situation that you are signing up your life for that could do you all kinds of wrong. And that's why when you sign up, you've considered your finances, you've considered that you can provide, but she's taking it lightly. That's why, and her leaving does not hurt her, it benefits her. So she just, like, there's nobody guiding her saying, you stick this out, do this, cook for him. No, all this stuff is superfluous. Like it's literally extras for her. For her, she just has to show up, and it's almost like the way you see a woman, like you go to a club and she's pretty in the distance, and that's enough for her to get everything. Her beauty should be sufficient to get her everything. But that doesn't work for marriage because you get past that. And that's what you hear women saying, oh, I was not getting any attention anymore from my husband. He stopped giving me that attention. Of course he stopped because naturally he got you around. That beauty becomes normative, like it's normal to have you around, but your role was not rehearsed. You did not desire to put in all that you could. And that's why nowadays to get married is almost at your own detriment. Okay, it's at your own detriment. Most women are not like they're not putting in the work. Like some people figure it out. They're like, okay, I'm gonna fight this out. But most people, they feel like just their beauty should do it. You've got me as your wife, not treat me whatever. Like it's a very entitled one-sided thing because most men, as much as we've liberated the female and given all these powers, are still traditional in terms of providing security. They're still traditional. The only reason guys behave the way they behave is because females have changed. But men are always providers. You know, I'm sure there's a certain percentage of men who are deadbeats, but I don't have such friends, and most men don't know. Like they stay away from such people. So I wanted to highlight that point that most men that are thinking marriage just know that most of these females, well, they look good, they might do good here and there, but they're not committed for the long haul to be a wife. They might look good in a dress and show up pretty on the wedding day, but they have not injected in their thoughts that this thing, they may say the vows with all, cuteness and prettiness and so forth, but they have not rehearsed, they have not meditated in their heads and their hearts and minds that this role is serious and they're going to turn up 100% for that role. They feel like it's almost like just a game. And if they do walk away, oftentimes doesn't mean much because they get the children, they get your assets. So why not get married? If you as a man were in that position where you could join a company, not really be ready for the role, and if things go wrong, you still get to get some money from that company and some assets. Would you care to perform? Peace, love, and blessings.